What's going on, guys? Platinum Jangus here. Welcome back to the channel and to episode 8 of my trophy list review series. Just remember, if you are enjoying the content, don't forget to like, comment and subscribe. Let's get on with the video. Welcome back, everyone, and today we will be reviewing the list of Uzi_Ethan Dyson 27. They're telling us they are a trophy hunter, which we absolutely love to see. On with the stats then, we've got a trophy level of 416. They're currently running 4,400 trophies in total with 98 platinums. Nice solid number. Look forward to see what you're doing for the 100th. We've got 882 golds, 833 silvers, 2,587 bronze. So not a terrible ratio, but we're probably going to see some easy games, I would expect, looking at that. Straight on with the rest of the stats then. So 278 games played, which is quite a lot. 93 of those games completed to 100%, which has given us a completion rate of 48.25, which is a little bit on the lower side, I would say. Not the end of the world. If you see my other videos, I do like to see this towards 80%. I know that's a big ask from where it currently is, but that's certainly something that you can work towards. We'll certainly have a look at some of the games as well and see if there's certainly some in there that we can pick out and hopefully get that moving forward. So the unearned trophies as well is quite a lot, 6,268. It's not the most I've seen, but certainly higher than I would normally like to see that as well. But we can, we'll check it out. We'll look at the games and see if we can put a bit of a list together of those that you could go back into. 2.2 trophies a day, it doesn't really matter, but nice to see that you're at least popping a couple every single day. 842 views. 58,820th in the world, and they are currently 7,459th in the wonderful UK, which is boiling at the moment. So yeah, if you see me struggling, it is very, very hot here for a change, which I'll enjoy it while we can, as it doesn't happen very often. So on with the games then. The first thing I'm seeing is actually something we haven't seen in anyone's list. It is usually 36 Fragments of Midnight, 112 Seed, or even just starting straight in with a Plague Tale as per usual. But 1111 Memories Retold, I haven't actually heard of that. May need to check it out. However, Ethan has only earned 6 of 51 trophies on that one. We've got the Platinum on 36 Fragments of Midnight. A few games unfinished, one that I'm quite surprised at there, which feels like I'm always banging on about a Plague Tale, but it is on a lot of lists and generally it is always finished, because it is quite short to do and it is so enjoyable in my eyes. So you generally find that most people will see that out. You can kind of excuse 3-on-3 freestyle. It is incredibly rare, 0.74%. But games like Plague Tale, even Abzu, which is a nice little journey, I would have thought that you maybe would have seen those through. So they certainly would be games I would recommend on going back to. A few easy games which we won't touch on too much. Among Us done twice. It seems to be the case with a lot of people. Apex Legends played on both PS4 and PS5, dabbled with. Not finished. I know there's no platinum with that, but it would have been nice to have seen you maybe go for the 100% if that's still possible on either of them. Ark done using the admin commands, a bit like everybody else. And then a flurry of Assassin's Creed games which seem to have been started and then not seen through. I mean, I'm not sure why that maybe you could tell me, maybe you could drop me a comment once you've seen the video and let me know, because it's kind of like you've started them and then just stopped. It's not even been, you didn't want the platinum, you've just played the story and then moved on to the others, because it doesn't look like you've even reached that far with them. And then maybe if you're not an Assassin's Creed fan, I'm kind of wondering as well why you attempt to keep going back into them. Maybe there's a reason for that. Maybe you could tell me. I'd be very intrigued to know. I really like the Assassin's Creed series. It'd be nice to see you go back in and do them if you do like them. But yeah, never mind. We'll move forward. So we've got Astro's Playroom done. Nice to see that done on there. Absolutely fantastic. A few more easy games, and even a breakthrough gaming arcade game not finished, which is surprising. I don't think I've ever seen anyone not finish a breakthrough gaming arcade game. Nevertheless, we move. A few of the Batman games, Arkham Asylum, City, Night, again dabbled with and not really kind of seen through. So again, I'm not sure if that's similar to Assassin's Creed, you've just kind of had to go and given up. I mean, testament to you if the game isn't for you and you've tried something else. We do find a lot of us trophy hunters can't do that. Once we've started something, we have to finish it for a number of reasons. It could be their OCD going mad and they just can't have those low percentages or whatever it may be. But fair enough if you are able to have that or have that willpower, should we say, to just put something down and move to the next one. I certainly don't have that and could probably, do with some, to be fair, because I suppose that is a kind of detriment to trophy hunting. You do find you're doing some activities that aren't enjoyable, but yeah, it'd be interesting to kind of know with some of these unfinished games what's going on there. The Telltale games done no problem. Again, the Battlefield games played and not even really attempted. There's also a lot of games, or a few games I'm noticing so far, maybe this might continue further down. It's one thing having something that's at like 1%, a couple of percent, there's not much you can do about that. But certainly these games that are sat on 0, I would be going in instantly and removing them and then just syncing this profile again, just so it looks a little bit tidier. That's the only reason I would say that. That'll kind of filter a lot of this out. It just make things look a little bit nicer, I would say. Beat Saber, I didn't realise that was an ultra rare actually, 4.9. I know you've only got 6 of the trophies and it's an 8 out of 10 difficulty. But yeah, it's a really rare, that one. So yeah, a few more unfinished, and then the finished games again is the bowling story ones. So at the moment we're seeing a lot of these bigger titles, AAA games, dabbled with and not continued, left unfinished. But you are doing a lot of the easy games. I'm hoping as we kind of go further down that we might see some impressive titles. Hopefully we'll keep our fingers crossed for that. Brawlhalla started, Bully started, even Bunny Raiders, which is, suggesting here it's only 2 out of 10 difficulty. It's around a 2-hour experience. I haven't played it myself, so I can't really speak for this game, but it is a 64.5% kind of rarity in terms of the platinum, so it's not difficult but unfinished, and it's not like you're just playing this at the moment. This is going back to February, so yeah, I would be really interested to know kind of what stopped you finishing some of these. Same kind of pattern with Call of Duty. You've done the recent Modern Warfare game, which is nice to see. It's just that one DLC trophy that's missing, but nice to see that you've finished that. I've gone off multiplayer now, but the campaigns are still enjoyable. It'd be nice to see you go in and maybe clean some of those up, especially the Modern Warfare campaign, because there's no zombies and multiplayer, all of that nonsense. It's relatively easy platinum, so that's another one that you could go back in and do the remastered Modern Warfare, of course. So we've got a few more easy games. Concrete Genie done. Nice to see. I know that's relatively easy, but still a bit bigger than these breakthrough game and arcade games. It's just, again, a shame, as I always mention, about these silly VR trophies that's stopping a lot of us from having 100%. Control, another fantastic game. It's been popped in, one trophy, and then you've left it. There might be a reason. You might have people playing on your account and they've just tried something and then come away from it. I really don't know. The Crash games, again, you've started the first one. We can excuse you for not finishing it because it is rather difficult, although you could still at least just do the story maybe. The second one and third one, I believe, appear because when you put the disc in, it's got all 3 games. They do naturally appear, but you could just delete those off still. Let's have a little look. We'll go through and see if we can find something to talk about, because again, Days Gone unfinished, which is a great game. Dead by Daylight, we know, is a huge grind. I mean, look at that time for the platinum, 150 hours, and I see some people have got well above that, in excess of 200 hours even. It's such a long grind. We've reviewed a few lists so far where they've done this. So yeah, very impressed when I see a kind of Dead by Daylight, Friday the 13th, those kind of games. It's real commitment needed. A few easy games. Detroit Become Human, only a couple of trophies missing, so that's a bigger game that looks like you've really tried to get. There's only a couple of things missing. It'd be nice to see that maybe cleaned up. Disco Cannon Airlines, very easy. Look at that, 3 minutes 44 seconds. Love to see it. obviously a fan of the UFC, maybe you've got a couple of those titles on there, and you have got the platinum for the UFC 4, sorry, which is really good. And you've done that in 6 months and a week. So I don't know if you'd started, come back to it, or if it was a little bit of a grind over time. But it is an ultra rare. As we can see there, 3.43%, which is very, very impressive. I always like to see an ultra rare in there. Another few unfinished games, but then okay, this surprises me. So F1 2021 done twice, which is good. I mean, obviously an F1 fan as well. I can see you've dabbled with 2017 and 2020, but the last year's game, yeah, you've done twice, which is great. I mean, I have done it on the PS5, and I love the game that much. I carried on playing, but I never actually thought of maybe putting that time into just doing the PS4 version as well. But fair play for that, because although it's not the most difficult, it still requires a big time commitment. And yeah, I can't wait for the F1 22 on the at the start of July, end of this month, depending on which version I go for. Really, really into the F1. For anyone that cares, Charles Leclerc is my favourite driver. I was very happy at the start of the season when it looked like Ferrari had the pace and they were going to be able to keep up, especially with like the Red Bull. But been a little bit disappointed in the last few weeks with reliability. So it's kind of pushed him out of the title race, it seems. But yeah, we'll see what happens. Enough about the Formula One. So Fall Guys started, not finished. Again, this is the original launcher, so it's not going to be something that you're going to be able to get anywhere. Fallout started and 1 trophy. Obviously, like your sports games, we've mentioned like UFC, Formula One, FIFA's on here. A little bit more of an effort with these ones, and then you've actually got the platinum for FIFA 22, which is one of the easier ones, as I've mentioned in previous videos, but still 3.74%. So a nice ultra rare for the collection. This one makes me sad. 7 Remake, the remake to my favourite game ever. Again, you've started at 2 trophies, which you pretty much get right off the bat. I know you get one for killing the first enemy, and then you might even get one for winning your first battle or something like that. So you've potentially gone in, killed a couple of the guards, and then stopped playing. Crazy, but I don't know. Hopefully you can tell me. Finger fitness done. Yeah, nice easy one, but does really tire the fingers out, probably even more so than the My Name is Mayo. If you haven't played it, check it out if you don't mind playing easy games. Five Nights at Freddy's, which I didn't realise that was a 7 out of 10 as well. It doesn't have a platinum, which is a shame for something that seems like it's quite difficult. For Honor, halfway through. Fortnite, we've probably just played the Battle Royale mode, and that's popped its way onto the list. Foxyland done. Surprise, surprise. Friday the 13th started. 10 trophies in. And Funny Truck done. So again, we're getting a lot of platinums, which are a result of these easy games, which is fine. I play them myself, and if you've seen my last video, I put obviously I believe it's a good case. It was my opinion, but I put what I feel is a good case forward for why you should play them. But I do think you need these big titles as well to back it up. It can't just be easy platinums every time that you want one. You've got to really get these big ones in there as well. More Breakthrough Gaming, Ghost of Tsushima as well, which is an absolutely phenomenal game. 51 trophies you've earned, but still missing the platinum. Ghost Runner, nothing. So yeah, I would probably just go in and delete these games. Anything on 0%, get on the console, delete them all off, resync it, and get this profile updated. It's going to look a lot better. There's certainly still some things I think we need to do, but that will go a long way, just removing all of those unnecessary games. Goat Simulator done, very, very nice. It's just going to be the plethora of DLC that's missing, but that's absolutely fine. God of War, again, one of the best games ever made. 15 trophies in and stopped. You need to get back on this. Absolutely phenomenal game. I'd like to see you go back into that for sure. GTA played on both the PS4 and the PS5, but once again, it's that same pattern where it's kind of so far through and then started it on next gen. This was March. I don't know if you're going to carry on with the PS5 version, and it's a very, very impressive platinum to get. It's not the most difficult, it's just very, very long. But yeah, it'd be nice to see you do that. Heavy Rain, not finished. Hymno, another easy. Another few unfinished games. I Am Bread, which always makes me laugh because some of my mates, they like to poke fun at me for playing the easy games, and they always say, "I bet you're playing I Am Bread again," thinking it's actually an easy game, but it really isn't. I mean, as you can see there, it's a 9 out of 10 difficulty. I don't know too much about the game, I just know it is incredibly hard. And look at that rarity as well, 0.39%. So yeah, I'm certainly not playing I Am Bread. Thank you very much. Another Breakthrough Gaming, Infamous Second Son, another solid game that you've started and put down. Explosion done, of course. Jetpack Joyride, he's the knockoff Rico Rodriguez again. 3 out of 10, 7 playthroughs. Wow, and 40 hours. I didn't think it was that big of a game, especially for only 12 trophies, and you don't even get a platinum for it. Just Cause 3 started, Kingdom Hearts 3 started, LA Noire started, not finished. So this pattern kind of continues. Lady in a Leotard with a Gun. What a title. Yeah, I haven't done this one, even though it's an easy game. I've seen it and it just looks awful. But yeah, fair play for that one. Late Shift done as well. Legends of Talia, Arcadia done twice. Look at how short that one is. 32 seconds. I have that myself, so I can't really judge too much. And then again, we've got this same kind of pattern for a number of Lego games. So a bit like with Assassin's Creed and a bit like with Call of Duty, you've got a lot of these games in like the franchise or in the series and what have you, where you're just kind of putting them in, popping a trophy, moving to the next one. And this is why, I know I keep saying, but this is why I'd maybe like to know why that's the case, because surely if you're only getting a couple of trophies, you maybe don't like them that much. I honestly don't know. So I'm just wondering why you would put another Lego game in and then another Lego game. And then we've got like Lego Harry Potter years 5 to 7, but not the 1 to 4 attempted. I don't know. I'm just, like I say, I don't know Ethan personally. They've not given me kind of any background really. They've asked me to do the review, which I really, really appreciate, and I'm going to try and do my best with it. But yeah, some context would actually be nice at the end, I think, just to try and understand what's going on. I suppose the higher ones are the Star Wars games. Maybe you're just more of a Star Wars fan than the others, and that's why you've done that. Yeah, fair play if you want to carry on with the Skywalker saga. I'm doing it myself at the moment, and it's just ridiculously long for a Lego game. Unnecessary amount of collectibles. It's really taken me away from what the game was, and I keep saying it, but they really could have just fleshed out the levels. Some of the levels themselves are so short. I mean, I'll use A New Hope as an example. Kind of the trench run and on blowing the Death Star up literally lasts about 60 seconds, and that's one level. I would much rather they kind of fleshed out parts of the film a bit more and just had less collectibles. I don't mind all the world. I think it's very good how they've done it, but there didn't need to be as many bricks and side missions as there are. It's just ridiculous. But enough about Star Wars as well, so we'll talk about it all day. And obviously I'm on a bit of a high anyway because of the last episode of Obi-Wan, which I won't talk about in case anyone hasn't watched it. But it's one of the best things I've ever seen. Absolutely loved it. So a few more easy games. Kind of move through it a bit quicker, I think. So we're getting similar patterns. Nice to see that you've done Guardians of the Galaxy, Spider-Man a couple of times as well. Both the Peter Parker and Miles Morales journeys. With regards to the Miles Morales, I don't know if that's an auto pop. If it is, if you see my other videos, you'll know how I feel about that. But yeah, fair play. You've done it either way. Mecha Bolt done nice and easy. A lot of games missing, but we've certainly got the greatest trilogy ever made on there, which is always great to see. It's not a trophy list without those, in my eyes. No, I'm just kidding. They're a bit of a meme at this point, but we kind of have to do them. What else have we got? Some more sports games. A number of NBA stuff not finished. Got some Need for Speed games not finished. Yeah, so it's this kind of pattern's continuing of games started, a couple of trophies earned, and then left, or we've got 0% games. So I don't know if you put it in and just taken it straight out, or have you maybe started it, it just wasn't for you, and before a trophy's popped, you've come away from it. I'm really not sure. We've got some more easy games again. See, Ratchet and Clank is another game which is short enough to do, and it's a really enjoyable experience. Red Dead Redemption 2, beautiful game. It is a very long one, similar to GTA. Not everyone's finishing it because of the time commitment, but if you can do that, that would be a super impressive one. Yeah, I've got some more easy games. Rocket League done. Nice. I do love a bit of Rocket League. Yeah, more easy games done. Slide, Snakeboat, Otterific Arcade. What a game! Game of the generation, ladies and gentlemen. More unfinished games. South Park games not finished as well. They're brilliant, so much fun. I grew up watching the show since I was a kid. I've been a lifelong fan really, and these games are just fantastic. Never laughed so much while gaming. Yeah, a few more breakthrough gaming arcades. Right, okay, so here's an impressive one. I know we've had UFC 4, but I've not played it, so I can't speak too much for what that entails. Obviously, I've played all the FIFAs. If you see my profile, I've platinumed all the FIFA games, going back to 15. But this I can speak for, and I know it's quite difficult. Battlefront 2, and very long as well. So I mean, look at the time it's taken: 3 years, 3 months. So I would probably lean towards this being the more impressive of the three out of all of them, and a nice 4.34% as well. Nice little ultra rare to go with the other two that I mentioned. Jedi Fallen Order. I mean, you must be a Star Wars fan. I mean, you've put more effort into their Lego games than the other Lego games. You've done Battlefront 2, and I can see Fallen Order and Squadrons on there, so you're clearly into that universe, I would imagine. And Jedi Fallen Order is magnificent. You need to get that on there. I think out of everything I've seen so far, that would probably be towards the top of the games I would suggest you get straight onto. A Steam Engine I've done, it was actually quite fun, quite satisfying to watch all the numbers popping up as you were generating money and adding parts to the engine. Very easy and a bit of a grubby game, but it was actually quite fun. Subnautica done twice. I missed Steep out, but yeah, it's an incredibly difficult one. It took me a long time to get the 100% for that, so fair play that it's not done. And fair play for even attempting Super Meat Boy, because although you've only got 2 trophies, I haven't had the bottle to go in and do it. I'm starting to play a lot more hard games myself now, so I kind of eased my way into the Soul series and things like that. I've played Neo and platinumed them, close to doing Elden Ring, and then I've done some other kind of platformers. I've recently done Cuphead and Crash Bandicoot, the first one as well. So I'm trying to kind of build myself up to hopefully giving this a try, because I've heard it's insane, and although I possibly won't ever do it, I'm kind of up for the challenge. I'm looking forward to seeing how difficult it is. So yeah, it should be fun. We've got a few more. Then we've got these Bat D, Chick C stuff. Yeah, we'll skip over them. The Crew, halfway through. Yeah, some of the Dark Pictures games started, and then see, the great experiences. I'm just not sure at what point do you start playing it and then think nah, and then turn it off. I mean, they're not long, they're pretty good, even if you just played them once. I can understand why people don't want to play these games multiple times for the trophies from either the beginning or certain sections, because it can be frustrating, especially not being able to skip cutscenes and what have you. But you could at least be playing this once. They're not very long, and as I say, they're good little experiences overall. A few of the jumping games, love to see it. The Ketchup Story, brilliant. Not even The Last of Us Part 2 done. And The Last of Us Remastered has been put into the console, or put on the console if it's digital, and just not played. Scary. But the Pig D's done twice. That's the main thing. The Pigeon P. Here we go. There's more of them. Sims 4 done 3 hours 50 minutes. So it probably used the guide there, which I need to do myself. I've got that on my list of, with Ark as well. where I'm probably not going to play them. So I'm thinking I'm just going to follow the guides and get them finished off, get them out of that backlog, because with the PS Plus stuff that's coming up, it's just an overwhelming amount of games to choose from now. I already had over 100 games in my backlog, and this is games that I'd paid for as well. Not just games that were on a wish list or things like that. They were genuine games I either had on disc or had bought off the store when there was a sale on, and they just kind of sat waiting to be played. So yeah, crazy. So yeah, bit of a shame that I've paid for all these games, never touched, and now they're actually on PS Plus, but what can you do? Walking Dead, I'll go back up, I'm getting ahead of myself. Walking Dead done, A New Frontier done, Season 2 done. I always say it's a shame that doesn't have a platinum. Very, very strange. But the final season not finished. And this is going back to last year, July. So it's not like you're in the middle of doing it. So you could maybe go back in and, get that done and get the series finished off. Few Tom Clancy games not finished. Yes, it's a real shame because there is, underneath a lot of these easy titles and a lot of the unfinished games or 0%, there's a couple of good little platinums in there, like FIFA 22, UFC 4, Battlefront 2. There is some good little games in there. And, you've even done Until Dawn, so it kind of, I didn't expect this. If you'd have told me you had Until Dawn on your trophy list before I'd gotten to it, after looking at the others, like the Dark Pictures anthology, I would have expected a similar thing. But you've done this, so you obviously don't mind that kind of horror experience with the choices and consequences, different paths, having to repeat certain chapters. So you maybe could do the Dark Pictures games again. That would be pretty cool to see. Yeah, a few more unfinished. Watch Dogs 2 not done. And you haven't played Watch Dogs 1. Yeah, welcome to the world of ZJ the Ball, 38 seconds. Yeah, I can understand that. I have done it myself. A few wrestling games started and not finished, but we can forgive that. It's not like you've tried, in all fairness, but look at how difficult they are. If Ethan wants to try, 2K17 0.68% madness. And then there's another ZJ Ball at the bottom. So yeah, a little bit of a mixed bag, but leaning more towards easy and unfinished games. I'm going to have a little look at what we've got down the right hand side. Apologies again if I'm in the way. I'll kind of keep bringing the screen through so you can hopefully get a glimpse of all of it. A trophy cabinet, yeah, so you've popped the 3 in there that I said. I didn't even notice that, honestly, at the start. So you've put the 3 in that I'd picked out. Rarest trophies, yeah, World War II, Call of Duty, and then it's going on to some of the platinums that you've earned. Let's have a little look at the milestones and see. Just a relatively, it's not an old profile, but it's, yeah, just over 5 years. First trophy was GTA, so you've had it on the list a long time and still haven't got round to kind of finishing that off. If any of you guys want to see the milestones, of course, you can pause the video. I am going to bring it down because I did say I would do that and I'd be in the way and then totally ignored myself. But yeah, Grand Theft Auto first trophy, first platinum was Walking Dead: A New Frontier. See, I didn't even notice that when I was looking at the dates. So you've played the third, you've platinumed the first one. I mean, this doesn't necessarily mean that you've played that one first. You may have played the story. Well, no, because the first Walking Dead, unless I'm mistaken, you get the trophies regardless. So yeah, maybe you've done that one. I'm waffling now, but yeah, maybe you've played the third one before the others, which is a bit bizarre. But yeah, certainly some interesting milestones, should we say. Only 13 rares, which isn't a lot for the number of games that you've played. Yeah, probably not enough, I would say. Let's have a look at the stats. I know I used to say we're only going to go in here just for a little browse and to be kind of curious, but there's actually a stat in here that's going to be quite important moving forward, I would say. And I know I briefly brought it up in one of the previous reviews, but yeah, I want to thank Excellence. So if you're watching Excellence, I do appreciate what you'd said in the Discord. So he's one of my more vocal members in the Discord, and what he suggested is the stat we've got on the left here, which you'll see is 65.91%. This is basically taking all of your trophies and working out what the average percentage is of the trophies that you earn. So it does kind of give you a good overall indication, I would say, of the types of games that you play in. And I kind of usually say between 40 and 60% you'll find most gamers. If you're underneath 40, then wow is what I would say to that. If you're above 60, then you're probably playing too many easy games. I know I play them as well. I've got a fair amount. If you had seen that last video, I've probably got over 100, but mine's towards 53%, I think it was the last time I checked. So if you're kind of in between there, you'll find most people are, and that's pretty fair going. But if you're above 60, then yeah, I think there's probably a few too many easy games against these sort of AAA titles, which generally have a lot more rarer trophies, of course. So let's have a look down the bottom, as we like to do, and I'm going to explain again because my big head is in the corner as usual. Sunday is the most popular day, 910 trophies on the Sunday, and a time that I usually expect as well, between 6 and 7, 496 trophies earned there. So yeah, I think it's been a bit mixed. I apologise if you, when you watch this, you feel I've gone in too hard. It's only kind of constructive, just on the hopes that you might do what a few of the other guys have now done and gone back in and try to clean a little bit up. So I think in terms of any advice, I would certainly say step one, you need to get in and delete all these 0% off the profile. It's going to massively clean that up. That would be the first thing I would suggest. Go and do that. There wasn't that many. There was a fair few, but I don't think it would take too long just to run through the console and get rid of them. So yeah, certainly do that. And then I think if you still own these games, I think you should just maybe for every new game, I mean, this is what I'm doing, so I'm kind of applying the same advice to you, is I've got quite a few unfinished games myself where I went through a stage of having a huge backlog that I mentioned. The games were just sat there, I felt like I'd wasted my money. I was just completing the story and getting the percentage to a number I was kind of happy with and then moving on. But now I'm looking at them all and there's quite a lot. I'm thinking I need to get back in and do these, especially if I'm giving advice for other people. It's really not fair that I'm saying do this and I haven't even done it myself. It's just crazy. So what I'm doing is for every new game I start, I'm just picking something up from my backlog and kind of running them together. Sometimes it gets a bit more out of hand and I've got loads of games on the go, but generally speaking, that's what I'm trying to do. And I think you could do the same. There's a lot of really, really good titles in there, some that aren't that long, that you could just pick up alongside something new and just try and keep doing that, and you'll slowly see the profile looking a lot better. You'll find that completion percentage jumping up quite quickly. The unearned trophies will be coming down. For me, and everyone's different, but it isn't just about the overall trophy count or the overall platinum count. I actually care about all of the individual stats in a way. So yeah, it'd be nice to see some improvements on that. But overall, I've really enjoyed it. I hope I haven't been too harsh. It was never my intention. I just want to see people experiencing all these amazing games the way that I have. And yeah, you've got some crackers in there that you could go back to and do as well. But yeah, it's been great to go through it. If there are any of you out there that are looking for your own list to be reviewed, you can certainly drop a request in the comments, or you can jump into the Discord, which I will leave a link for. Come and join like-minded people. There's a request page on there, trying to get through them as quickly as I possibly can. The links to all my other social media will be in the description as well if you want to have a look at other little bits that I do in my adult life, other things I get up to. But yeah, it's been really good. Hope you've enjoyed it. Whatever you're doing today, have a great one. Look after yourself, and I will see you in the next one.